Welcome back to the Golden Path to Wealth, the place where we uncover real strategies to break free from money stress, build confident financial habits, and create the wealth you deserve, especially if you're starting over after 40 or 50. If you're tired of feeling like your money is playing hide and seek with your life goals, you are not alone, and you're in the right place. In our last video, we asked a powerful question. Are these 3 sneaky habits making you broke? But here's the truth. We barely scratched the surface. Today, we're going deeper, because some of the habits keeping you broke don't even look like financial habits. They seem harmless, everyday, normal, but they're costing you way more than dollars. So let's get into it. Have you ever looked at your paycheck and asked yourself, where did all my money go? It's a feeling I know all too well. You work hard, you get paid, and then somehow, before the next payday rolls around, you're scraping by, wondering how the numbers just don't add up. You think you're being careful, avoiding those huge, extravagant purchases. But the bank account balance tells a different, much more frustrating story. It can feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, putting in all the effort but getting absolutely nowhere. It's exhausting and, honestly, a little demoralizing. The truth is, it's not always the big things that drain your wallet. Sometimes it's the little habits that feel harmless. These are the tiny, almost invisible leaks in your financial ship. $1 here, $5 there. They don't seem like much in the moment. But compounded over weeks, months, and years, these small drips can sink your entire financial future. We often overlook them because they're baked into our daily routines, disguised as convenience or a small treat. But these are the silent killers of wealth, the real culprits behind that end-of-the-month panic. So today, we're diving deeper than we did in our last episode. Are these 3 sneaky habits making you broke? We're going to expose the everyday behaviors that are secretly sabotaging your financial goals and keeping you from building the life you deserve. This isn't about blaming or shaming. It's about awareness and empowerment. It's time to take back control from these unconscious patterns and make your money work for you, not against you. Let's break the cycle. Right here, right now. Let's talk about the first habit, and it's a big one because it operates in the shadows: autopilot spending. This is the financial equivalent of a silent killer. I'm talking about all those automatic payments and subscriptions you set up once and then completely forgot about. That free trial for a streaming service that started charging you 6 months ago. That gym membership from your New Year, New Me phase that you haven't used since February. That fancy app subscription that promised to organize your life, but you never even opened. Each charge on its own seems insignificant. What's $10 a month, right? But these little amounts add up to a financial death by 1,000 cuts. They quietly siphon money from your account every single month without you even noticing. You've given these companies permission to reach into your bank account and take your money, and they will continue to do so until you actively tell them to stop. It's a brilliant business model for them, but it can be absolutely devastating for your personal wealth-building journey. I received an email from a viewer named Sarah last week that perfectly illustrates this. She decided to do a full audit of her bank statements after watching one of my videos. She was convinced she was only spending about $30 a month on subscriptions. But as she went line by line, the reality was shocking. She found a forgotten premium music subscription, a couple of news site paywalls, a subscription box she didn't even like anymore, and 3 different photo editing apps. The grand total was staggering. Sarah discovered she was spending $119 every single month on services she either didn't use or didn't value. That's over $1,400 a year just vanishing into thin air. Think about what you could do with an extra $1,400. That could be a significant payment towards debt, a healthy boost to your emergency fund, or a solid start on an investment portfolio. It was money she was working hard for, only to give it away for literally nothing in return. Her story is not unique. I guarantee many of you watching have similar phantom charges haunting your accounts. The fix for this requires you to be proactive. You can't let your finances run on autopilot anymore. The first step is to get a clear picture of where your money is going. I highly recommend using an app like Rocket Money or Truebill. These apps connect to your bank accounts and automatically identify all your recurring subscriptions. Seeing them all listed in one place is often the wake-up call you need. It turns the invisible into the unignorable. Once you have that list, it's time to be ruthless. Go through each subscription one by one and ask yourself 2 simple questions. Does this bring me joy? And is this helping me make progress toward my goals? If the answer to both is no, it's time to cancel. Don't hesitate. Don't tell yourself you'll use it someday. That day rarely comes. Hit the cancel button and reclaim your cash. It might feel a little tedious, but think of it as paying yourself. To prevent this from happening again, you need to build a new habit, the weekly money check-in. Set aside just 15 to 20 minutes every single week. Put it in your calendar like any other important appointment. During this time, you'll review your bank and credit card transactions from the past week. This isn't about creating a complex budget. It's about maintaining awareness. It ensures that no charge goes unnoticed and that you remain in the driver's seat of your finances. This weekly ritual does more than just catch unwanted subscriptions. It builds a deeper connection with your money. You start to understand your spending patterns on a much more intimate level. You see where your impulses lie and where you're truly aligned with your values. It transforms money from a source of stress and confusion into a tool that you are consciously and deliberately using to build the life you want. So, your action item for this chapter is clear. This week, conduct a full subscription audit. Use an app or go through your statements manually. Find at least one subscription to cancel. It might be just a few dollars, but it's not about the amount. It's about breaking the habit of passive spending and starting the habit of active financial management. Take back control from the autopilot. The second habit that is secretly keeping you broke is one fueled by the modern world, comparing instead of planning. We are constantly bombarded with images of other people's lives, especially on social media. We see their curated highlight reels, the exotic vacations, the designer clothes, the new cars, the perfect homes. And consciously or not, we start to measure our own lives against these manufactured images. This is incredibly dangerous for your financial health. The problem is that comparison is the thief of joy, and it's also the thief of your money. When you see a friend post about their brand new luxury SUV, you might suddenly feel like your reliable, paid-off car is inadequate. When an influencer shows off their latest designer handbag, your own perfectly functional purse can feel cheap. This feeling, this lifestyle creep driven by envy, leads to impulse buys and spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't even know. I have to admit, I fell into this trap myself a few years ago. I was just starting to see some success in my career, but I felt this immense pressure to successful. I saw other people in my field with fancy watches and expensive clothes. So I went out and bought a luxury purse that cost me a significant chunk of my savings. I thought it was an investment in my image, a symbol that I had made it. I carried it around for a few weeks, waiting for that feeling of success to wash over me, but it never came. Instead, what I felt was anxiety. Every time I looked at the purse, I didn't see success. I saw the dent it left in my emergency fund. I worried about it getting scratched or stolen. It didn't bring me joy. It brought me stress. I realized I hadn't bought it for myself. I had bought it because I was comparing my behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. It was a powerful lesson. Spending to keep up with others will always leave you feeling empty and, of course, broke. The antidote to comparison is clarity. You need to stop looking at what everyone else is doing and start defining what want. What does financial success look like for you personally? Not for your parents, not for your friends, not for that random influencer on Instagram. For you, is it the freedom to travel? The security of owning your own home? The ability to quit a job you hate? The peace of mind of being debt-free? Once you have your own definition of success, you need to create a plan to get there. This is where you shift from comparing to planning. Your financial goals become your North Star. They guide your decisions. When you're tempted to make an impulse purchase, you can ask yourself, does this purchase move me closer to my goal of being debt-free, or does it move me further away? This simple question can short-circuit the comparison-driven spending impulse. A practical step you can take right now is to curate your social media feeds. This is your digital environment. Make it a positive one. Unfollow any accounts that consistently make you feel anxious, envious, or inadequate. You have control over what you consume. Fill your feed with accounts that inspire you, educate you, and align with your actual goals. Whether they're about frugal living, investing, or hobbies that genuinely bring you joy. Another powerful tool is to make your goals visible. Create a vision board, either a physical one with magazine cutouts or a digital one on Pinterest. Fill it with images that represent financial goals. A picture of the national park you want to visit, a chart showing a zero balance on your credit card, a photo of a home that looks like your dream home. Look at it daily. This keeps your personal destination front and center, making the detours of comparison less tempting. Or, if vision boards aren't your thing, start a money journal. Write down your goals, track your progress. Write about how you feel when you stick to your plan versus how you feel when you give in to a comparison-driven purchase. This process of externalizing your thoughts builds self-awareness and reinforces your commitment to your own unique path. The goal is to be so focused on watering your own grass that you don't even notice if someone else's is greener. The third habit is perhaps the most deceptive of all, because it feels productive. I call it mistaking activity for progress. This is for all the people who watch every financial video on YouTube, listen to all the money podcasts, read all the books, and follow all the FIRE movement blogs. You are consuming vast amounts of information. You feel like you're doing something important for your finances. But information alone doesn't change your life. Action does. You might know intellectually that you should be investing in a low-cost index fund. You've heard me and a dozen other creators talk about it. You can even explain what the S&P 500 is at a dinner party. But have you actually opened a brokerage account and transferred the money? Have you set up the automatic investments? If the answer is no, then all that knowledge is just sitting there completely useless. It's financial entertainment, not financial improvement. Let's use a really clear example. High-yield savings accounts. For years, they've been offering interest rates significantly higher than traditional brick-and-mortar banks. Learning about this is the activity. You might spend an hour researching the best HISA rates, comparing different online banks, and reading reviews. You feel smart. You feel proactive. You've done the work, right? But if you never actually go through the 10-minute process of opening the account and moving your emergency fund into it, you have made zero progress. You've left hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in potential interest on the table, all because you stopped at the information gathering stage. The gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it is where most people fail. They get stuck in analysis paralysis, constantly seeking more information, a better strategy, or the perfect time to start. But here's the secret. Execution beats information every single time. A mediocre plan that is executed is infinitely better than a perfect plan that never gets started. This habit is so insidious because it gives you the of accomplishment without any of the results. It's like reading a library full of books on how to get fit, but never once going to the gym or for a run. You might be the most knowledgeable person in the world on the subject of fitness, but you won't be any healthier. Your bank account works the same way. It doesn't grow based on what you know. It grows based on what you do. So how do we break this cycle of passive consumption and move into active execution? The key is to make action small and non-negotiable. Don't try to overhaul your entire financial life in one weekend. That's a recipe for overwhelm and burnout. Instead, commit to taking just one small, concrete financial action each week. Just one. This makes it manageable and helps build momentum. This week, your one action might be to finally open that high-yield savings account. Next week, it might be to increase your 401k contribution by 1%. The week after, it could be making one extra payment on your highest interest debt. These are not huge, earth-shattering moves. They are small, simple steps. But taken consistently, week after week, they build the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. To hold yourself accountable, you need to track your actions, not just your knowledge. At the end of each week during your money check-in, don't just review your spending. Ask yourself, what one action did I take this week to improve my financial future? Write it down. Keep a log. This creates a record of your progress and provides positive reinforcement. You start to see yourself as someone who doesn't just learn, but someone who... Remember, the goal isn't to become a financial genius who knows everything. The goal is to become a financial doer who executes consistently. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect piece of information. The most successful people aren't the ones with the most knowledge. They're the ones with the best habits of execution. Your financial future is built one action at a time. Start building today. We've covered a lot today. The silent drain of autopilot spending, the trap of comparison, and the illusion of mistaking activity for progress. It can feel like a lot to take in, but I want you to pause for a moment and really hear this. Your future self is watching you. She's hoping, she's counting on you. She's asking you to pay attention, make the hard decisions now, and build the foundation today so you don't crumble tomorrow. Every dollar you reclaim from a forgotten subscription, every time you choose your plan over comparison, and every small action you take is a gift you are giving to that future version of you. Don't fall for the lie that it's the big moves that matter most. Often it's the small, consistent changes that lead to real wealth. It's the weekly money check-in, the unfollow button, the single % increase in your retirement savings. These are the boring, unsexy actions that, compounded over time, create extraordinary results. Wealth isn't built in a day, it's built in daily decisions. Choose the small, right decision over and over again. That is the true secret. Now, it's your turn to move from activity to action. Which habit hit home for you? Was it the subscriptions, the social media comparison, or the information overload? Drop it in the comments. And if you're bold, share one change you'll make this week. Let's hold each other accountable. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who keeps asking, why am I always broke? The golden path to wealth starts with awareness, then action. Let's walk it together.